Jay, there's a clip circulating from Morgan State professor Dr. Jared Ball talking about Black wealth. And one of the things he said, and which you say all the time, is that Black-owned businesses should go after other ethnicities and not our own, right? Because, and what he said was, that Black people don't have any money. And the gentleman that was interviewing him said that that's not the answer to Black liberation and wealth. And so, as someone who said this time and time again and taught this to your clients and different programs that you're a coach, part of, what do you say to that?
I mean, I'm glad that he said it. We pump out these lies and like I said, we just gotta support each other. We gotta support Black business. The Black dollar gotta circulate in the community 28 times for it to work and all that other shit like that. The circulating is not a problem. The problem is that you're talking about Black Wall Street 100 years ago when they actually had businesses that Black people needed. We don't need no more fucking clothing lines. And I'm saying it. I have a clothing line. But the funny thing is, that's not my target audience because we don't need another one. You know what I'm saying? We don't need another fucking candle business. We don't need none of that shit because we don't need it. We want it, but we don't need it. We don't have grocery stores. We don't own a hospital. We don't own banks like that. We don't own stuff that people have to use without even thinking about it. And so it won't be Black people. It'll be anybody. But we don't think like that. We too busy, like Carter G. Woodson wrote in his book almost 100 years ago, that we got the same fucking store as our brother across the street and our sister across the street. So how the hell you ever gonna make some money? Like the guy said, he said, we pay people less because again, we don't have it. We're not starting businesses with $100,000 worth of credit, $200,000 worth of credit. People scared to death to get business credit, but you paying Afterpay on fucking clothes. You see what I'm saying? You got the Balenciagas, for $900 on Afterpay. A Louis bag for $1,500 on Afterpay. But you don't want business credit. You know what I'm saying? So that you can start your business at a high level. And again, y'all saying that y'all entrepreneurs when y'all not. Because when you're entrepreneur, you're starting a business knowing that you're hiring somebody. Because you know that you can't do every fucking thing. I don't care if you're a lawyer. As soon as you start, you can't be the lawyer, the paralegal, the regular assistant, and investigator. Law firms have all these things. But if you got $100K that you started with, you can say, okay, I can pay this investigator, I can pay this person, I can pay that one. You got $200K, whatever you need, you can do that. But no, everybody's just starting this shit, what I can do. Now you trying to be the janitor, the executive assistant, trying to do all that shit. And we think it's cute. I was there. I thought it was cute to say, I do it all, getting out of the mud. That shit's stressful. That's stressful. And you're not doing nothing but stunting your growth and growing your business. You're not starting with partners because if you can get $100K, if you have 5 of y'all, they go $500,000. Now what? Y'all got a half a ticket. Y'all can go in and get, that's 20% of something. You know what I'm saying? That's 20% of 2.5 million. What type of business y'all gonna start then? You see what I'm saying? So now shit changes. And you can actually hire people. You can actually do some things. But we're not thinking like that. All we're thinking of is trying to be cute and say we in business. Say we scared of the big bad boss man and don't want to go to fucking work. And that's what's happening in the Black community. Yes, we got $1 trillion spending power. Yeah, but that how much other motherfuckers got way more than that. And we ain't putting it together. And the money is so concentrated in such a small amount of people. What are we talking about? That's why the shit is dead now. Yeah, that's in Afterpay. That's in the credit cards. You know what I'm saying? That's in paying for a bunch of shit you can't afford. And everybody want the shortcut way out. Every time you're talking to somebody, I spend my time if you're new to this channel, my full-time gig is I coach. I coach entrepreneurs all over the country. East Coast to West Coast. Literally. Multiple contracts with different companies, different entities, different parts of the country for my organization to coach. Some of them I train as well. But definitely everybody I coach. And they're talking the same crap. You're fully immersed in the business, trying to get your business off the ground. Oh, did you hear what they said about crypto? I'm going to see you touch and try that. The fuck are you talking about? You got a cleaning business. Focus on the business. Focus on the business. Your extras is going to fucking crypto. And you barely making a profit doing this. This is why we in the pipeline. Because we can't get off of Instagram saying, listen to the motherfucker who said I made $1 million in one day. I made $1 million in 1 year. Man, look, I broke it down. And we're talking about authors and how people running away from this. When I had to speak and you were with me, we did the thing in Arizona. And everybody talking about they can't make no money. Mm-hmm. And we talked about an author who sold 3 million books for his life. So when you start doing the math, you're looking at 3 million books. You know, that's $100,000 a year for 30 years. Some people are not going to ever make $100,000 a salary. So even if it took him 30 years to sell those 3 million books, he was all right. But let's just bring it down to 20 years. Bring it down to 10 years. That means he got $300,000 a year just doing books. And you would turn away from that because it's not happening fast enough. We don't understand money. We don't understand what it is that we're doing. We don't understand business anymore. And I'm sorry, a lot of our people were wiped out in the baby boomer community, jumped in with the job, sending them to college. They wasn't talking about business. Then after the baby boomer community, in the beginning or end of the baby boomers, beginning of Gen X, started with the taking the stuff out of the high schools where people can have skill sets to provide for themselves. And that lasted up until the beginning of millennials. And so this is what we're looking at right now in the black community. People that just out here hustling. Well, I got news for you. You can't put hustle on a resume for a business or for a job. You having the balls enough to take a risk is not enough. That's qualified for the streets. That's not qualified for this thing over here. This is why a lot of people that's kingpins in the street can't translate to here, because that hustle you had, that willingness you had, those nuts you had don't matter here. Yet. It's a time when that's come, but that you can't lead with that here. You got to have something to stand on. You got to have something you can put on a resume. And then you got to understand how to identify other people's skill sets. And some of them are not going to have nuts. They just know how to do numbers. Some of them not going to be tough or have the balls to try something new. They just are good with answering the phone and making sure that things are running smoothly for you. Because in the streets, you had to translate that to everybody had to have nuts. And everybody had to show you that they were tough enough in order to be down with the crew. It don't translate. The hustle shit don't translate immediately when you get over here. What can you do? What can you do? What can you do? How can you duplicate a skill set? What skill set can you have that you can duplicate the responses every time? The result every time for years and years and years. If you don't have that, you're going to have trouble. But ending this thing, for me, we got a lot of problems. We can go for 30 minutes talking about this. But I totally agree with what the gentleman was saying. I just want us to stop selling each other the bullshit that we got all this money, we got all this other. No, like the brother said, it ain't as much money as everybody think. We making bullshit businesses that's not making enough money to feed nobody else's family like that. We have to start working together, create businesses that actually move the needle, and then we'll be able to affect that type of change. But until then, we won't be able to.